everybody. Welcome. This is a special holiday/Christmas Aerosmith edition of Get Your Wings, the Aerosmith podcast hosted by yours truly, Rob Mars. I am happy to be here for this one. To anyone out there who's listening, Christmas and Aerosmith together, for someone like me, really is amazing and fun. The fact that anything exists for me to put together a list like this at all, enough for an episode, is awesome. I love the Christmas season. I love the decorations, the lights, the music. Outside of Aerosmith, there is so much Christmas music that I love and enjoy. So this is a really fun episode for me to do. I really appreciate anyone who's been listening up to this point, or if this is your first episode, welcome. In honor of one of the projects we'll talk about tonight, Joe Perry's Merry Christmas, an EP that one of the leaders of the Blue Army, Joe Perry, the Admiral, put together for Christmas. We'll be talking about it. In honor of that, we're going to call this episode, We Wish You a Merry Christmas. So, a title in the same vein, all right? It's an Aerosmith show. We love it. Anyway, tonight's going to be our first list. This is my first list. My grown-up Christmas wish. My grown-up Christmas list. There's a little pun for you guys. Because I am a grown-up, and I'm doing this list, and it's Christmas-themed, if you didn't get that. Anyway, this is going to be a list of 6 things, all right? 6 things out there in the ether that Aerosmith as a unit or one of their members have done in relation to Christmas. Any type of media, anything that's out there for consumption by fans and the masses alike. We're going to talk about it here. So I got a list. Like I said, we're going to go in ascending order. So we're going to start down at 6. We're going to end up at 1. We're going to have some conversation in between. It's going to be a fun time. Hopefully, you guys are going to take this ride with me. And if you haven't heard some of this content and you want to brush up on your Aerosmith, let's do this. And tell me your thoughts after you hear this. You go seek some of this out for yourself. All right. At number 6, we've got Merry Xmas, A Guitar Christmas. This is a guitar-centered EP, a guitar-only EP from 1997, featuring songs from none other than Mr. Joe Perry, Jeff Beck, Joe Satriani, and Steve Vai. Joe closes the EP with an all-instrumental version of Blue Christmas. It's a pretty cool version that he brings to the table. I would say it's got a lot of swing to it, honestly. Swing elements in the way that he's playing, which is very cool. And honestly, a recurring theme I'll come back to because Aerosmith, all the band members, I think anyway, really appreciate big band sound, 50s, a horn section. There's a lot of homage to that in different things that they've done throughout their career. And anyone who's a fan of Aerosmith and Joe Perry should know how much Joe idolizes Elvis Presley. So that right there is very 50s rock and roll within itself. So that's number 6, all right? Starting out this list. Merry Xmas. Love the name. Obviously, a reference to the guitar as an axe, axe masters, and Xmas. Triple entendre right there of rock and roll and Christmas. Number 6. After Merry Xmas, we got number 5. 5 is going to be Aerosmith's Christmas version of their cover of a blues song. Joe loves to do this one live. They do it quite often, and he'll sing lead on it. The band will do a jam. It's a pretty electric moment. Some of the hardcore fans complain a little bit because Joe does this song a lot for his song in the set. He has other songs that people love. But without digressing too much, this is a great one. He kills it vocally too. And the band is definitely feeling it when they do it. Stop messing around, okay? There are multiple times I think they've sung it with Christmas lyrics, or he's sung it that way, but the one that I know of that's available for all of you if you have Spotify, and if you don't, the show can be found on YouTube. In 1994, Aerosmith performed in a club that they funded in Boston called Mama Kin's. They did an opening show that was broadcast on local radio stations. That show at the time was recorded. Like I said, it is now on YouTube. There are bootlegs of it. I want this to be an official release. Clearly, they have the ability to do it because it exists on Spotify on their discography now. It's just called Boston 1994. It's in high quality. That version of Stop Messin' Round is an alternate Christmas version called Feels Like Christmas. All right, Joe changes the lyrics up to celebrate the holiday. The normal lead up to the hook is, "You're rocking me, baby, till my face turns cherry red. You rock me so hard, babe, I fall right out of bed." Joe changes that up to, "You're rocking me, baby, till the clock strikes 3. You're rocking my balls right off my Christmas tree. I said it feels like Christmas when my baby comes to town." So it's a fun little tongue-in-cheek, a little reference to the season. And listen, if you guys want to go listen to a fantastic live show, not just for Aerosmith, but I think for any rock band of that era, you got to listen to this 1994 Mama Kin's local show for Aerosmith, all right? They were on fire. This song is no different. Another harmonica solo from Steven. As I said, those are aplenty here. Keys, guitar solos. Like I said, the whole band gets their moment to shine. They let this one breathe. They rock together. They fill spaces that each other are not filling. They're never on top of one another. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I'm sorry that it ranks so low on this list for me at number 5. But please know, I hold all of these things tremendously dear. They are all great in their own way. The list is just, it has to be done. And something has to be at number 5, so that feels like Christmas, all right? AKA Stop Messing Around with some Christmas lyrics. All right, at 4, we've got a special performance at the CMA Country Christmas. This was in 2014. Steven joined guitarist and vocalist Brad Paisley to do an edition of Run, Run, Rudolph. This is broadcast on national TV. It's just a one-off performance that they did, a celebratory country piece of programming for the holidays. So other people appeared at this, but Steven and Brad did this version of Run, Run, Rudolph. Steven's wearing a patented coat, a red jacket with some short coattails. Looks very ready for the season. There's a Christmas tree on stage as well. Brad Paisley really, really ignites this song with his lead guitar in between the phrasing from Steven. Steven brings his showmanship. He sings the song great and has a harmonica solo. Another recurring theme we'll see throughout this list. There are Steven Tyler harmonica solos aplenty, and that is because he is one of the best to have ever blown the harp. A great one here on the live Run Run Rudolph 2014 at the CMA Country Christmas. You guys should go watch it. Now, number 3. This is the first one that is not primarily related to music. There is music involved, absolutely, but this is a different media taking the helm. This is television. In 2002, Steven Tyler makes a cameo on a Lizzie McGuire holiday special episode. Not only is this a Steven Tyler cameo, this is Steven Tyler playing good old Saint Nick, Santa Claus. And you don't have to watch the episode longer than 1 second to figure that out, let me tell you. This episode is bizarre. This episode is otherworldly. A little bit, what's the word I want to use? Not unsettling, but haphazard. But it also creates something very unique. This is 2002 Disney. Opening scene. The students at Lizzie's school are in line. We see her with her friend Gordo. They're talking. But kids are delivering gifts to Santa, aka Steven, and his elf helper. Okay? His elf helper named Nobby Frosty Bump. This is a Disney show, ladies and gentlemen. We have an elf named Nobby Frostybump. That is really something. And this is mere seconds into the episode, by the way. So we have kids handing presents over to Santa, Stephen. So I presumed, I watched this in preparation for the episode. Just after that scene, I said to myself, I guess that's just donations, because they really don't explain it. Anyway, the main premise for the episode, Lizzie is trying to build this float for a parade. She's in a competition to win a ski trip. She really wants to win a ski trip. Her concept for the float is rock and roll Christmas. And I guess that fits perfectly when you have a rock and roll guest star in Steven Tyler. So we'll see where that ends up. There's some interplay between the aforementioned elf, Nobby Frostybump, and the Lizzie McGuire family. They end up helping him. So at the end of the episode, as a thank you, he officially introduces Santa Claus to the McGuire family. And Santa says thank you for everything, aka Steven again. And a bunch of kids show up just to question whether this Santa Claus is actually the real Santa. And he tells them, okay, he'll go prove that he's the real Santa. Cut to a couple seconds later, Steven Tyler no longer in a Santa suit. Quick aside, this Santa suit, by the way, they didn't make any effort to make this man look any more like Santa Claus or any less like Steven Tyler, even while he was in disguise. Okay? They throw the suit on him. There's nothing in there extra to make him look a little fatter. The beard, you can see the strap the entire time. And I understand this is a kid's show. No one's really going to focus on that. But I don't know. It was just so obvious. It took away all of any kind of mystery it could have had. Anyway, they throw a hat on him, and that's it. That's it. No change in his voice. He didn't even attempt to do that. He's just talking. So it's all interesting stylistically for something Disney put together on one of their successful shows. So he appears on the float as Steven, no longer dressed like Santa. The float is finished, and he bursts into a rendition of Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Now, there's no official rendition of this. You can go on YouTube and watch that part of the episode with the audio recorded because it fully plays in the scene. It's an abridged version of the song. They definitely cut it up. I don't know if they ever planned to release it on some type of Disney CD. Maybe they did and I don't know about it. But this is definitely a little abridged. But Steven does some incredible gymnastics on this one, honestly, with his voice. He shows off a little bit at the ends of phrases with the screaming vocals. He's actually screaming words, which he does a lot, but it's nice on this. He hits those notes real well. So the explanation for the Lizzie McGuire plot, anyone that was following, is Santa Claus turned into Steven Tyler, finished the float, and is now performing on it. That's the end of the episode. So you guys go put that one together. Definitely watch it while it's still Christmas season. It's something to behold. Little tidbit about it I did want to mention. I'm sorry I did not mention it sooner. 2 of Steven's children appear in this episode. That bumps it up a notch, honestly. It's number 3 on this list, as I said. But at this point, Steven had 2 children with his second wife, Teresa Barrick. So his daughter, his youngest daughter, Chelsea, appears, and his youngest child and only son, Taj, appear. They are part of the group that I mentioned who come over to question Santa Claus as to if he's really Santa. So it's pretty cool that Disney allowed Steven to do that. He's on this episode, he's Santa. He had his own kids questioning him as Santa. Pretty cool. And just a quick bump because I'm a big Disney guy. I love Disney, love the theme parks, and there is an Aerosmith connection there beyond this. Many of you may know if you've been to Disney or if you've just heard about it, you're an Aerosmith fan. There is the Rock and Roller Coaster in Disney's Hollywood Studios. 1998, 1999 is around when that relationship began, so this is a continuance of that. Anyway, we're in the top 2, okay? And now that I talked your ear off about number 3, the Lizzie McGuire episode, I'm gonna preface 2 by saying 2 and 3 could be interchangeable. This is another Steven cameo, this time in a movie, not a TV show. He appears in 2004's Polar Express. The Polar Express, okay? This is a big Tom Hanks film. This movie also, a little revolutionary too in the way that it was made. It was done with animation and motion capture. So some of it is a little unnerving with the way some of the characters can look at certain angles or their eyes. But overall, it has a charm. It has nice music throughout, a good story, memorable. At least for me, this is a movie my family liked. I liked the music before I even realized Steven was involved at all. I realized years later. As a kid, I never knew. But Steven has 2 parts in this, both very small. He plays 2 elves, which is very fitting for someone of Steven's personality. So the first elf I'll mention is the lieutenant elf. I think they must have been disguising his voice, or he changed it. They definitely put some kind of effect on it if it's him, because I really don't hear it. These elves have like thick Brooklyn type accents, okay? And Steven is a lieutenant elf when they find the children in Santa's sack after it's delivered to the center of the North Pole for this celebration they're having before Santa takes off for Christmas Eve. Okay, the kids end up in there, and Steven's character is there to usher them out. The second character, and the more recognizable one because it is his natural voice, and it's also a musically inclined character, is the singer elf. So after Santa takes off, leaves the North Pole to perform his Christmas Eve duties, there's a party that ensues with all the elves, and it cuts to a big stage, and the frontman of the elf band on a unicycle with an old-time mic stand, Steven Tyler the elf, singing a Christmas original for the Polar Express soundtrack, Rockin' on Top of the World. This song has a great horn section, great up-tempo movement from the band and Steven's vocals. Some of the most fun scatting I've heard from Steven on any of his stuff, and that's saying something because he's amazing at that. Obviously, it's saying phrases that aren't quite words and just stringing them together for musicality, rhythm, and sometimes melody's sake. But he does it to an incredible degree on this. It's just a fun, energizing song. And I wish they played the whole thing as part of the montage, and more of the scene in the movie was at the party. But at least in this case, unlike his version of Santa Claus is Coming to Town, we have a full version that exists on the movie's soundtrack. So to me, it's an awesome cameo from Steven. The elf looks like him too. I recognized it years later. I didn't even know before I watched the movie. Like, I had never seen that fact anywhere. I just watched the movie one day after gaining my Aerosmith fandom and was like, holy shit, that's Steven. And it went from there. So shout out to Hot Chocolate too, by the way. Great scene, great song. Not Aerosmith related, but that's the number 2, okay? Steven Tyler and Polar Express, rocking on top of the world, baby. Number 1. As I said, I might have spoiled this in my intro here, but just to go back through the list thus far, at 6, we have Merry Xmas, A Guitar Christmas featuring Joe Perry's Blue Christmas as the closer. At number 5, we have Feels Like Christmas, the Aerosmith Christmas version of Stop Messin' Round. Number 4, Run Run Rudolph, Steven Tyler and Brad Paisley, live at the CMA Country Christmas in 2014. Lizzie McGuire, Steven Tyler as Old St. Nick, Santa Claus, 2002. Season 2, Episode 20. It's called Extreme Xmas. Go find it on Disney Plus if you got it. Number 2, Steven Tyler as multiple elves in the Polar Express, featuring Rockin' on Top of the World. as an original song. Number 1, we have Joe Perry's Merry Christmas, the 4-song, 15-minute EP from Joe Perry. All right? He releases this December of 14, coming off his book tour, Rocks, My Life In and Out of Aerosmith, a great autobiography. I guess he's feeling pretty good. He wants to spread some Christmas cheer. He comes out with an EP. It's funny, I re-reviewed some of the press Joe did for this. It wasn't incredibly promoted, but he did some. You know, I think he was proud and happy of the work, and he really does like the season, which is funny to me because he's such a reserved guy, and he doesn't show a lot of emotion. So it's nice to see he enjoys the spirit of Christmas, especially musically, because I do too. So he does 4 tracks, 2 of them instrumental. Album opens with him on the talk box. And as we already know by this point, this is 2014, from Toys in the Attic, Joe Perry is a legend on the talk box. See Sweet Emotion or Walk This Way as examples. Joe starts his instrumental version of White Christmas. The only thing he says on the talk box in a very robotic voice is Merry Christmas, everybody. All right? He's here to bring the cheer. Joe Perry is Santa for the next 15 minutes when you put on this EP, let me tell you. He does Run Run Rudolph, all right? The Chuck Berry song, same as Steven did with Brad Paisley. And it's a great song for him. There's a video, straightforward music video for it on YouTube, an official one. So you can go see Joe rock out to that. Like I said, put on his best Elvis, all right? Then he does another instrumental, Silent Night. It's very interesting to hear the song as an instrumental in my eyes because I like Silent Night. I can get into it, but with the vocals, it's honestly a little almost depressing for the time. I know it's not meant to be, and it's meant to be calming and holy, but this brings a different atmosphere to it, the way Joe plays the guitar on this one. It's still sweet-natured, but it's more of a you're gonna be okay type of version. Like, this is a solid, somber, nice night that you don't need to worry. It's a nice version. He closes it with what is my favorite song on the EP, honestly. Santa Claus is Back in Town. Now, I didn't know about this one, okay? I thought this might have been even an original song, but I looked it up and I was wrong. This was written by a songwriting duo, Lieber and Stoller. Okay, they wrote this and Elvis did it. It was actually the opening track on his Christmas album, aptly titled Elvis's Christmas Album. So it's interesting to me to know that Elvis opened with it and Joe closed with it. Like I said earlier, if you're a fan of Joe, you know his affinity for Elvis Presley, and it's just apropos of him to do that, but I'm sure he did it without even thinking. So it's really nice. It's right in the pocket of his vocals, just like we were talking about with Stop Messing Around. And yeah, he kills it on this one. It's a nice little EP, and it's nice to have an actual project from someone in Aerosmith for the holidays, even if it was short-lived. So that's number 1. I encourage you guys to go listen to it. I want you guys to seek out all of these. If you're an Aerosmith fan, if you love the band like I do, go watch all this stuff. It's worth it. Come up with your own ranking. Tell me about it. I want to know. It's an honor to do this episode. Honestly, I want you guys to know that. These are thoughts I have in my head about things related to Aerosmith that I'm now putting out there. And any number of people that want to listen, I really appreciate you. I know this is a very, very specific episode, but it's the holidays. It's the holidays. We love that, and we love Aerosmith. So we're putting those two things together for this special episode, and I appreciate you guys. Really, I do. So thank you for taking this journey, and we're one step closer to getting our wings, I guess. I wish you guys a happy, healthy, and safe holidays, whatever you celebrate. A happy new year, too. So thank you. I hope to continue this journey into 2026, and let me know what you guys think of this. All right, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Everybody